What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with part 2 of this SimCity Buildit video. This one was about contest of mayors and how to prepare for that beneficially, how to have an easier time if you're having a difficulty time reaching the top place in the higher level leagues. So for most of you, you're probably if you're watching this video, you're probably a lower level player and having difficulty completing all of your tasks, okay? Now, they are time consuming, and prep is basically everything, okay? And I know I covered a lot of this stuff in my part 1 of this video, but I can't stress that enough, that every part of this game has its purpose. Okay, you can't just ignore one part of the game and then expect to prevail. So, first of all, a lot of people ask if it's worth it to upgrade your VU tower. It is. That is something you are going to need to do eventually. Now, if you're a low level player, it might not be something that you can financially afford right at the moment, but it is definitely something to be doing and that needs done. So if you guys are launching, and to be honest, I know pretty damn much near everything about this game, okay? But I don't remember like everything that it costs as far as like, okay, at level 1 VU launch, it costs 1 of each and it gives you this versus that. I would have to actually look that up. However, I do know that each disaster, which I can't, oh wait, yeah, I can show you, okay. So each disaster has 3 tiers or levels, so to speak. So you're gonna upgrade Meteor Strike, and then you'll unlock Earthquake, and then so on. And then you'll go up each time that you unlock. It is going to increase the amount of VU items needed to launch, but it's also going to increase the rewards, okay? It can be beneficial to have multiple different disasters to launch, not only on the repair cost, but the reward as well. You are going to need this stuff. Keys are pretty important when it comes to this game. You're going to want to save those for your epics. So you can't really earn a lot of keys just doing shipments, and that would make those tasks very difficult to complete. So let's say that you have, you're low level, you've just unlocked the VU tower, and if I remember correctly, it is, it costs 1 or 2 VU items to launch it, and then you get like 1 key and 1 500 coin repair, if I remember right. At the 3rd tier, you get 4 damage and 3 keys, okay? So if you go over here and you see that you only get 1 key for every shipment and you have to give up items for that, that would take you forever. So like if you had a task for earn 5 keys, and you're not going to sit there for, however many hours it is between shipments, which it's 6 hours between shipments. So 30 hours worth of downtime just to complete a 5 key task. Not to mention, yeah, you could pay the cash, but then it would cost you $50 cash just to complete it. So, but if you have a 5 key task and you have to launch your VU tower 5 times at 2 items a piece, that could end up costing you quite a bit as well. So it is beneficial to upgrade your VU tower. It does cost a lot of money. It's like somewhere just over 1 million coins eventually, over time. But I mean, coins are actually really easy to get in this game once you know how to work your production line, and once you start doing that properly. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to basically look at the assignments that you're able to do. Okay, so if you're somebody who is not leveling up your city because you're camping right now, you're doing storage and things like that, then you need to take into account that you cannot do those assignments. If you are somebody who has not unlocked the airport, you need to take that into account. So you just have to kind of look at which ones you're able to do. Make a list of the ones that you're able to complete. If you haven't unlocked Omega, you're not going to be able to do those. Once you have the list that you're able to complete, I want you to look at your assignments list here. And I want you to look at your top 3 assignments, okay? Out of those top 3 assignments, I want you to do the highest assignment, the highest point assignment that you can do. If the top 3 assignments are things that you can't do, or that cost like way too much, let's say it's like shipments, 3 shipments for 3,000, 3 Tokyo shipments, and you're in the Suburban League and you're level 20 or something, don't pay the 20 cash. Now, if you're in the Mega League and you actually have a shot at winning, then pay the cash to bring those flights back. But just kind of outweigh the cost here. If you're looking at those 3 assignments and you're seeing that you can't do any of the top 3 assignments, I want you to start the highest one and cancel it. Now, the reason I tell you to start the highest one and cancel it is because if you ignore the top 3 assignments because you can't do them and you start doing the ones below them, you will never get the top assignments to pop up because you already have them popped up. The game will never give you all 3,000 point assignments. The algorithm is not going to do that. Try as hard as you possibly can to not cancel assignments. Try as hard as you possibly can to do the highest point assignment. Try to prepare the best that you can. Save your coins in your depot. Try to keep, if you have a decent amount of storage unlocked, try to keep a decent amount of raw materials. And by raw materials, I mean chems and textiles. That way you're prepared if you have a production task. Try to, if you produce something, even if it's not on your assignments list, let's say that you produced, 10 donuts or something, and you have stuff that's still making in that shop, leave those there just in case you get a donut assignment. Only collect them, once you actually have to collect them. If you get these canister assignments, you need to take into account that each canister is going to cost 7,000. Okay, so do the math. If you have a open 5 canisters or produce and collect 5 canisters, you need to make sure that you have $35,000 to do that. If you don't have those coins, you got to kind of pay attention to what you're doing there. You don't want to end up getting halfway through the assignment and then just throwing it down the drain. You also have to take into account that if you have several Omega homes, that you are not only going to be producing small canisters. Therefore, you could possibly end up with a canister that is very large and takes 8 or 9 hours to open, or 48 cash to open. So you could end up spending a hell of a lot more on canisters trying to get the smaller ones. Now, for me, I have my city set up strictly to excel at CoM. And by that, I mean, I don't have Omega items, or homes, I mean. I don't have a lot of them. I have 3, which I used to have them, which is how I unlocked all of my, these things, whatever the hell, the labs. And now, because I bulldozed all those homes, I only receive small canisters. This is a benefit for CoM because I only have to worry, the most it will ever cost me to open is like 12 cash. But it would be a downfall for if I was actually building Omega and trying to excel for that. So if you're not building Omega and you don't care to have Omega in your city and you're strictly only doing these assignments for CoM, only keep a couple out there, okay? And what I do, even though, yes, it's technically a waste of money, is if I get a Omega resident upgrade task, I will go and over here, which is where my only 3 Omega homes are right now, and I will place 1 construction zone down, and I'll give it the 1 Omega item it needs, and then I'll bulldoze it. And then I get, if it's 3 Omega homes, I get 3,000 points for that task. On double point week, that's a 6,000 point task. Super easy to do. Okay. Yeah, it's a waste of coins because of the fact that I have to open the canister, but I don't want Omega homes. Now, the only reason that I even have the 3 that I have sitting there is because I want to buy the Omega resources, right? These on my regional maps. And in order to do that, I have to have a minimum of 3 Omega homes built. So that is the only reason that I have those. Otherwise, I would just bulldoze all my Omega homes. Now, once you look at the assignments that you're able to do, you want to start seeing the easiest way that you can complete them, the quickest way that you can complete them. If you have production for TVs, for example, you're going to want to throw up a token on those, okay? Get those done as quickly as you can. Or you certainly want to be working, you almost always want to be working 3 assignments at the same time, okay? Doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to for sure start and collect on that assignment, but you want it done and completed in case you end up needing to do it. So let's say that I have my top 3 assignments are build 3 Omega for 3,000, launch 2 times for 2,000, and repair 5 for 2,400. Okay, which one do I do first? Obviously, I do the Omega for 3,000 first. Now, depending on what pops up in its place will depend on if I move down to the repair 5 task. Now, a lot of you would think, oh, no, you would do the launch 2 and then do the repair 5 from the launch. No, don't do that because you're missing 400 points. Okay, do the repair 5. See what pops up after that. See if it gives you another higher point assignment than the 2K. And keep working your assignments just like that until that launch 2 is your highest point assignment. And if it ends up not being your highest point assignment, then you haven't wasted points by doing it. Okay. So sometimes you kind of have to, even though it seems like the more beneficial thing to do, you have to kind of give it that up in order to excel with the other points. Because here's the thing. The players that are hitting the top, they are taking this very seriously. They don't start and stop. They only do their highest assignment. People like me that are high level and that have been at this for quite some time, we only work our one top assignment. That is the only one we will ever do. Now, we're able to do that because we have everything unlocked. We have, I have over 120 or 130 gold epics, so I can get those production tasks done very quickly. I have coins, so I can make those canisters very easily. I have every slot in my store unlocked, so I'm able to, produce 11 items without even having to start the assignment, right? And then the other remaining items that I need, I can just throw a token up on. So I'm having an easier time. However, I'm also have way more competition. So even though you guys are having a harder time, you have a better chance. So if you take the knowledge that I give you and you put it towards the low level leagues, I see absolutely no reason why you can't hit the very, first place in Mega. I've had people join my club, level 18, 19, level 19. And I've done it myself on my feeder, and I've hit first place in the Mega League, no problem. Okay. The time, if you guys are having trouble completing 20 assignments, you're doing something wrong. Okay. If you're having trouble getting those assignments done within 5 days, then you aren't preparing right. Okay. You guys need to think ahead of time. Now, you also might not be doing something totally wrong. You do have to take into account, like I said, that you don't have, all your store slots. You don't have the gold tokens, things like that. But it might be beneficial if your storage is above 350 to level up to level 24. That's where you need to camp, because that is where you're going to be doing your epics. And during the time between level 18 to 24, you can do those resident assignments. So that's a really good way to excel at CoM. So basically think of it like this. If you're level 18 or 19 and you have between 300 and 350 storage unlocked, you should be able to hit the top league in the Mega League, no problem. And you should be able to be working those residential assignments until you hit level 24. Once you hit level 24, I want you to stop and camp, okay? Then you're gonna proceed up and unlock storage to, I wanna say about 700. You shouldn't leave level 24 until you have around 700 storage. And the reason I say that is because storage is basically crucial. Now, you also have to think the game is not going to or should not give you assignments that you can't complete. You know, it shouldn't be giving you make TVs if you don't have them unlocked. It won't do that. So the more items that you unlock, the more assignments you're going to have. Okay, the more variety, I guess. And the epic projects, the less items you have unlocked, the easier that they will be. And if you have your storage at 350, like I'm telling you to be at, and you're level 24 and you're doing epics, you should have absolutely no problem stocking up on 20 of each item that's needed. You should be able to fly right through those epics, like I'm talking hitting gold in less than 5 minutes, if you're doing it right, okay? Now, all of those regular residential homes that you have fully upgraded from level 18 to 24, I want you to do an epic every single day, because you can do one every 24 hours. And you get those and you turn every single home on your map into an epic. And then though that home is now producing tokens for you, it's going to help you in Contest of Mayors. It's going to lower your service demand. So you'll actually be able to dispose of any extra services that you might have purchased. Because once, if you've seen my videos, then you know this, but if you look at like waste management, I have 149 service demand, and look at all these epics. Every single house out here, besides these 3 Omega and this 1 Paris right here, every single one of my homes is an epic. Okay, so I have 2.1 million pop on this map, and my service demand is 149. If you go look at yours and you're, have regular homes, you will see that it is extremely high compared to mine, because they require more services. So you're getting an added benefit by converting all of those into epics. You're also not going to end up anywhere near as broke from doing the epic, because you have things like saps, shovels, grass, chairs, the cheap stuff. Okay, you got the cheap stuff unlocked. Wait till it asks for 5 ice cream that cost, $12,800 a stack. Yeah, versus 5 chairs for $1,500. Yeah, no, trust me, you're gonna want to get those epics done at a low level. So once you have hit level 24 and you've unlocked epics, at this point, if you're doing everything right and you're following my advice, you should have every shop that you have or are able to unlock. You should have it all fully upgraded, every slot open. You should have however many homes that you have on your map, you should have all converted into epics before you even leave level 24. Now, once you've converted every home that you have to an epic project, what do you do, right? That's going to be your next question, is when do I leave level 24? What you're going to start doing at that point is you're going to start upgrading homes again, okay? And you want to be careful. You don't want to throw down too many construction zones and then end up with, 15 houses that are halfway upgraded. You want to fully upgrade these homes so that you can keep producing epics at the lowest level possible, right? So maybe work 2 or 3 homes, get them fully upgraded, stop where you're at, convert those 3 homes into epics, and proceed on. You will have a much, much easier time. Now, because those homes have been converted into epics, now you're going to have an easier time completing your tasks, and you're going to have an easier time doing your epics as well, because you'll be able to, make those items much, much more quickly. Items that are more difficult to get. Now, somebody in my club brought up the idea of having a feeder city that produces items that you might not want. Like have one city that focuses on these items to make, and have one city that focuses on these items. Yes, that is something that you are going to want to consider. Okay, so like if you guys have seen my video on production and what you guys should be producing for coins, then you know what I'm about to say. And what I'm going to say, I'm going to skip that part. And what I'm going to tell you is, let's say that you're doing your barn here. And if you know anything about my videos, you know I'm going to tell you that you should be making flour. Okay? Cream is used for bread rolls, which can be beneficial to make. However, you don't normally want to make cream because it takes away from your flour production. So it is good to have a feeder city that is at the level to produce cream, because you don't check it. Usually people don't check in on their feeder city anywhere near as often as their main. So it's good to make the items that you might need for your epics that aren't necessarily beneficial as far as money goes. So like backpacks, for example, it would be good if you had a feeder city that was a high level that could produce microwaves or backpacks, things that don't give you any money in return, but they are needed for the epic projects. Now, regional maps, you could unlock those on your feeder. A feeder city is really, you can't really go wrong with it. It just depends on what it is that you want from it. If you want your feeder city to produce, to help you with your rares, like your storage and your dozer, you're going to want to keep it low level. If you want your, let's say you got your storage max and your dozer at max. So you don't need to keep that feeder city low level anymore. You can go ahead and up it and have it feed your city for items that you don't want to make on your main map. Or let's say that you're doing contest of mayors on your capital, right? And you want to continue having your flour production in play. So you convert your flour production over to your feeder city, and then you transfer those coins to your capital. If you have a feeder city, it can make contest of mayors that much more easy for you, because you can utilize the storage from that city to hold raw materials that you may need. You can use it to hold rares that you might need if you need to upgrade. There's a lot of ways that, the feeder city can help greatly with contest of mayors. But basically, you just have to think ahead of the game, okay? These assignments, you'll start realizing, like, once you start getting into the flow of it, you'll be like, okay, I got this. I got that one done. I got my omegas done. If it pops up, I've already got my key task all ready to go. And then you'll start seeing that these assignments, you're getting 5, 6, 7 of them done in minutes. And you're like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. Now, you are going to hit a wall sometimes, and you're going to have an assignment that takes 5, 6 hours, right? You're going to have to make up for that downtime. So during the time, if you know you're going to have an assignment that's going to take you 5 or 6 hours to complete, then is a good time to catch up on your normal production, or plan for assignments that may be popping up. So for example, let's say that you are having 5-hour downtime due to an omega canister assignment. Should you pay the 7 cash just to open that 1 canister and get the damn thing over with? Okay, let's say you don't want to do that. Let's say that you are going to wait the 5 hours and go ahead and wait on those canisters to finish. What do you do within that 5 hours? Do you just twiddle your thumbs? No. You get your ass over to your factories and you make, I don't, however, the maximum amount that you can make, you make glass or textiles or, whatever. And you keep those there in case you get an assignment. You prepare and try to guess what the game might give you. Sure, it might not, but you're not hurting anything. You know what I mean? Try to produce, during CoM, try to produce all of one thing in every shop. If you're working your donut shop, do all donuts in case you get a donut task. Don't do like one donut, one bread roll, one cake, one, yogurt. That's not going to help you. Okay. Don't throw up 5 fire pits and then you end up getting a task to make grass and now you have 17 hours worth of fire pits stuck in your damn queue. So you got to use 3 damn tokens just to get them out the way. Yeah, don't do that. You know what I mean? Plan ahead. Keep your shops running, but make sure that you can quickly empty the queue in case you need to throw something in there. Oftentimes, the reason that production tasks take a while is because people don't prepare for them and they don't think, oh, what if I get a production task for this store? I just threw up 19 hours worth of cheese or something, Don't do that. Unless you know you have time to do that. So I'll throw up 10 hours worth of cream because I know I have 10 hours worth of downtime, right? That makes sense. So preparing is everything. And once you get into the flow of it and you learn how your city operates, you'll have a much easier time. Once you get into the groove of upgrade, like I always save the house upgrades for the Omega. I always make sure that I have at least one available. So like right now, you see how I don't have one? That's because I have one already placed out here for the Omegas. So you guys just make sure that you don't, like a lot of times they'll upgrade homes and they don't have any available and then they're stuck waiting for one to pop up because they didn't leave one, right? They didn't leave the coins uncollected in their shop. They didn't leave their taxes uncollected. Their Omega currency on top of their homes. The regional shipments, they started them way before CoM. Don't do that. Leave them sit there. If you have war tasks, don't just go out there and launch and not even wait for a war task to come up. If you have Omega canisters, what you should be doing is the day before CoM, you should be prepping. Every single contest of mayors, what I do is I go through and I prep and I make sure that I have the raw materials that are needed, and I go through and I put down a canister. And I leave them uncollected. I put down a canister in every single one of my labs and I leave them uncollected. That way, when CoM starts, I already have that task already ready to go, just in case it pops up. So in this case, I had the produce 7 canisters. I had already had a task this round, but if I hadn't had that task, I would have already had 5 completed, already waiting for me. So I would have only had to wait 2 hours for the 2 to be done, and then the 2 hours for it to open. So that, you know what I mean? I don't need to open them. I just have to collect them. So like right now, I have the one. I have one more. Now what I can do is I can wait another hour, or I can just pay the 7 cash, right? And then put this one down, collect this one. Oh, okay, I need one more. Oh, okay, that one's just about done. So I'll pay the 7. And if you're low level, you might not want to do this, but if you're high level, you're definitely, time is of the essence. And if you have 60 assignments to complete plus 15 gold tickets in Mega, you can't afford to have downtime like this. That's why people pay the cash. So pay the 2, which normally I would just wait 6 minutes, but for the purpose of the video, now that assignment has been completed. So what do I do next? Do I move on to my next assignment right away? No, I don't. I get my ass back over here to my lab and I make 5 canisters again, because if I get another Omega task, I want these already done and completed. Okay. Also, if you know that you're going to have some downtime, it's good to collect your taxes, because you know that, you don't want your taxes sitting there for days where you're not able to collect them. So if you know you're going to have some downtime, go ahead and collect your taxes. If you guys end up in a bind where, you don't really have anything that you want to get rid of, and you have a earn 19,000 simoleons, what you can do if you have a feeder city is just swap items between the two, or just have a club member buy some items and then sell them back to you. That's always another way. Usually they call it a PC, paper chase. If you're ever wondering if someone's asking you for a paper chase, that's what they're trying to get you to do. Now, in this case, we have a war assignment, which I should have started war last night, but I fell asleep. So I'm going to go and start war for our club. Now, because war is becoming more popular, a lot of clubs used to be CoM clubs or war clubs. And now what you're finding is that the CoM clubs are doing war strictly for contest of mayors. So if you are a club president or even a vice president, you want to start your war right before CoM starts. Like maybe, I think it's like 8 hours. I think that's how long the prep is, 8 to 10 hours. So 8 to 10 hours before contest of mayors, start war. That way, when contest of mayors starts, you're able to do these attack tasks. Now, we had already done this. We had already done our war, and then we had a 10-hour downtime, or whatever, no, 12 or 24-hour downtime. And I should have started war last night, but I fell asleep, and I've been doing videos, and I forgot. So we have 12 hours until I can even do the task that popped up for me. So in this case, I have this one, which I can't do for 12 hours, and I have the top one that I can't do for 12 hours. So what do I do now? Do I wait 12 hours when I only have 2 days left and I still have 17 assignments plus gold tickets? Probably not. Best thing I can do at this point is start and cancel this war assignment. Okay, now I have a coffee assignment. I could watch the video and see exactly how many, but I don't need to do that. See, I already have 2 coffee made. That being said, okay, I know I need to make some seeds, so that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start making seeds, and I'm going to start seeing exactly how, usually a coffee task is somewhere between 8 and 12. I've never really had it asked for more than that, so I'm going to take a guess that, okay, I've got plenty of cream, so I just need sugar and seeds now, and I can just hit this over button and just start throwing them down, right? Now, I can throw a token on those, and boom, I got that task done in minutes, less than an hour, roughly, okay? And then I move on to my next task, and so on. So you just got to plan better. That's all it is. And then you'll be able to get these assignments done at a more timely manner, and you won't have to worry about, being behind. If you notice that you have, like right now, how I have 17 assignments, 16 assignments plus my 15 gold tickets, that's 30 assignments. That means I have to do 15 assignments per day in order to finish on time. So I need to get my butt in gear and get this shit going, right? That's totally doable though. It really is. Especially if you prep, okay? So don't stress about it. You'll get the hang of it. Eventually it'll start becoming easier for you. If you're low level, don't worry about it, because you can't kick yourself too hard when you don't have a bunch of tokens. And if you're winning tokens in your contest, make sure that you save them for tasks like that. At first, when I first started playing, I didn't have a bunch of tokens either, so I had to basically, the ones that I won for CoM went back to the next CoM. That's basically how it went. Until you can get those epics done, that's just how it's going to be. any extra cash, or not cash, sorry, any extra coins that you have available to you after you've upgraded your shops and after you have basically, okay, so you're going to upgrade your shops with your coins as long as you have, you know, the services that you need. If you have the money to upgrade your VU tower, absolutely get on that. You know what I mean? Don't put yourself in the hole doing it, but you do need to get that done. It is going to make those assignments much easier, and they account for 3 types of assignments that you're going to need to do. You're going to have your repair, you're going to have your launch, and you're going to have your keys. Those are all 3 good assignments that are high point assignments. So it is crucial to get that VU tower upgraded. War, even if you're not somebody that likes war, you're going to have to upgrade your cards. You have to. So you're going to need keys for that. If you want to be successful at Contest of Mayors, you're going to have to upgrade, and you're going to have to participate in war. Now, don't be doing a bunch of shipments for your war items. Wait for those people to attack your city and get your war items at a much cheaper cost. Or what you should do is, when you collect war simoleons, go to the war store, go to your cards, and usually, like if I have a launch 3 legendary for 3,800, what I will do is I will pick the lowest resources needed. So I'll pick this one here, and all it costs is 1 of each of those items, and I'm able to launch 3 times because 4 times it costs 4 energy. I get 12 energy, so I'm able to launch the 3 times at the cost of 12 energy for 6 war items. So what I do is I plan for that for CoM, because I know it's going to ask me to launch 3 legendary war cards. So what I'll do, knowing which items I need, is I'll wait for the 2 on the right here, how you get 5 of each for 1,000. I'll wait for it to be 1 of each of those, and it cycles through every hour, so you can wait and hold those items available so that if I get that task, I already can complete it right away. So like I said, just be prepared, okay? If you, like how my other assignment was launch rare attack, I'm going to go and find the one with the least cost, saying that you're just doing this for CoM, okay? Saying you're not doing war to actually win war. If it's strictly for CoM, that's what you're going to want to do. If you're trying to win war, that's a whole nother ballpark, okay? Then you just do what, you know, whatever it is that you're doing to win war. As you can see, my phone is running out of storage space, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I really hope that you guys, that I helped you guys. I honestly don't know what else other advice to give you. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will do my best to answer them. And if you guys have trouble with certain assignments and you need tips that I didn't cover, leave it in the comments below. I will get back to you. If it's something that I feel I can't just answer in one comment, or I feel that other people would benefit from having that same knowledge, I will just make a video about it. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead and get this one out there.